I've identified the 5 main habits that hold people back with their progress when they're practicing. So after 40 years of teaching, what I have found is there are 5 main habits. They are by no means all of the habits, but these are the 5 main ones that can hold people back with their practice and make them wonder, why on earth am I not progressing? I'm practicing so much and I'm just not progressing as I should be, or like my friend is, or how I think. I'm not getting the results for the effort I'm putting in. You could be putting in so much effort and just not be getting anywhere sometimes. So here they are. And if you can let me know in the comments if you identify with any of these, and if you do, which one do you identify with? And I would like to see if I can help you. I am making videos about practice. I am going to be running a practice clinic. So I would really like to know if any of these resonate with you. Please do feel free to comment, and I will engage with as many of the comments as I possibly can. So number 1, starting from the beginning every time. This is the number 1 thing. And when students come for a lesson, we know that they've done this. We can tell because often the beginning is fabulous. The first few phrases are wonderful. And then there's a tricky bit and they trip up and it just doesn't get better week in, week out. And the reason why is because you're just starting from the beginning. So the beginning is getting the most practice. Every time you hit a problem, you're stopping, going back to the beginning, rather than stopping where you are, having a look at your hands, going back a few notes and trying to work out, okay, why has this happened? How can I fix it? And that's where I can help. Number 2, repeating mistakes. So instead of correcting and diagnosing, so as I've just mentioned, you make a mistake, you stop. You don't repeat it. There's this thing about repetition in practice. Oh, if we repeat 7 times, it will stay. Not necessarily, and especially if you're not practicing it correctly. So you may be repeating 7 times and that will stay with you, but perhaps you're repeating the wrong notes or the wrong rhythm. So you probably will have a vague idea that something's not quite right there. It doesn't quite fit. It doesn't quite flow into the piece. So repeating is not always a good thing. If you make a mistake, stop, look at your hands, go 2 or 3 notes back, even a bar back, because quite often the mistake happens in the approach, not on the actual note. You haven't got where you needed to get to because of something you've done a few notes back or a bar back. So diagnosing why it's happened, correcting why it's happened, and then repeating the correct way. That's another thing. Number 3 is practicing without a clear plan. Many of my students like a bullet point list to go away with and work on. So if you sit down and you just think, okay, I've got to practice for half an hour. Oh, I've got to practice for an hour. The chances are that you're going to do actually number 1 and 2 of the bad practice habits that we've just talked about. You haven't got a plan. So for example, say you have 3 or 4 pieces in your repertoire that you're needing to get up to standard. Some are in the learning stage, some are in the polishing stage. You sit down, you don't have a clear plan, and you just think, I'm practicing for half an hour. Before you know it, half an hour is gone, and all you've done is practice 1 piece. Going back to the beginning. Every time you make a mistake, do you see? You're not going to progress. So, number 4, trying to play at full speed straight away or too soon. This is a really bad thing to do, because what's going to happen is, well, let's put it this way. If you can't play it slowly, you can't play it quickly. You need to be able to teach your brain and your hands to make those patterns, to be able to do to cope with the piano geography, as well as the note reading, the rhythm, the pulse, the musicianship. Everything has to be there before you can speed it up. And then again, if you've done steps 1, 2 and 3, by the time you do step 4, we've now got a piece. You keep going back to the beginning, you keep starting at a fast speed, then you slow down because you keep making mistakes, and then you've made so many mistakes, you're just going to go back to the beginning again at full speed. So that's not the best way or an effective way to practice. And that leads me to the 5th mistake, which is mistaking how you practice for learning pieces to how you practice for performance. When we practice for performance, we've done all the groundwork, we've ironed out all the issues, we've worked on the detail, we've got everything in time. We are now doing run-throughs where we will not stop for mistakes, because if we're 2 or 3 weeks before a performance and we don't know what our stamina is going to be like during that performance, we can't play through without stopping and going back to the beginning. And we can't play through without stopping every time we make a mistake. We're not going to perform well. We can't do that in performance. In performance, we just have to keep going no matter what happens. We mustn't let mistakes affect us. Trust me, almost every performer will be making many more mistakes than you actually realise. The reason you don't realise is because of the way they cope with them. But we can't do our learning our pieces practice in the same way that we do our run-throughs preparing for performance practice. They are 2 completely different mindsets. So they are the top 5 mistakes that students tend to make. Let me know if any of these resonate with you, and I will do my best to include these and any other issues you might have in my practice clinic, which is coming soon. I'd love to hear from you.